Just so you're quite heavily muting there, and it's down, down, down. And with that, you're not bouncing your hand, you're dragging the pick across. And I think you can hear, like I'm not hitting the string overly hard, but I am attacking it a little bit. And the other thing that I do with arpeggios a lot too is that I add a lot of legato and stuff, especially say if I'm doing a run, say something with straight pentatonic. Now that slow is like this. So I'm sweeping these three strings whenever I go down. That's the sweep there. The rest is legato, hammers and pulls. That's a way that I've found to make everything smooth and fit together, you know, because it is a challenge. You don't want to be, you know, when you're doing arpeggios, you don't want to, you know, you want to have your playing, all your guitar playing, your soloing coming together. You don't want to have to feel like you're actually switching techniques, you know. So obviously the way that I approach it is what works for me, and you know, I mean, other players have different ways, but I mean, if you're into a similar kind of sound, you know, that blues rock kind of thing, that is one way that I've found that works really, really well. And you know, as I said, the possibilities are always endless, but you know, as a general rule, it's, you know, don't be afraid to attack the string. And, you know, use your hammers and pulls and all the other techniques that you would normally use if you were just playing, you know, without arpeggios, you know. So I've just released my first solo album. It's called Glenn Proudfoot Lick 'Em. It's available on iTunes and various other music outlets. Also, I play with a progressive rock band in Europe, which is really big. They're called Prague Selection. If you want to check out any of the live stuff of them, you can go to YouTube. Also, you can visit my MySpace, just MySpace, Glenn Proudfoot. So I'd like to talk a little bit about my guitar and how I got it and what it is. Basically, when I was a kid, I'd saved up. You know, I'd had various different guitars, but, you know, I always loved Strats, and I could never get a US guitar because I had no money. But finally, I through saving up birthday monies and whatnot, I had the money to purchase a US guitar. But my decision was influenced by someone else, and I ended up with a Telecaster, which I did like, but just, you know, when it comes to playing live, I didn't like the way that some little guy, I didn't like the way that it sat out of my body and stuff, and really missed the Strats. So I was walking past a guitar shop one day and I saw this Strat in the window, and I had my Telecaster with me and asked them if they'd want to swap, and they did. But unfortunately, when I first bought the guitar, it was this colour, this canary yellow, which I didn't really like too much. So a friend of mine sanded the guitar back. And it's got no lacquer on it. It's actually got boot polish on it. That's what gave it that kind of finish. And then another friend of mine painted the guitar up. Apart from that, I mean, I've got different pickups in the guitar. Here I've got these are all Damasio pickups actually. This is the same one that's in the Steve Vai Gem, and these are two Malmsteen stacked single coils. This guitar was originally a Strat Plus, so it had the graphite saddles and all that kind of stuff. I took that off and put on a pressed steel Fender bridge. The machine heads are still original. The neck's still original. Apart from that, I had the profile of the fretboard flattened out, so it's more like a Gibson. So, you know, on a Strat, it's more like this. On a Gibson, it's a lot flatter, and I had that done. A friend of mine did that and put some nice big frets in it. And the reason that I did that is because a lot of the time when you have a low action on a Strat, you find that it will fret out, like you'll bend it up, and you'll hear it start to buzz. So with that flatter profile, you can get the strings nice and close, and you don't get any of that, you know, that sound or that fret out. As far as strings go, I use 9 to 46 strings. I'm not too particular with string brands, as long as it's nickel. And that's about it. And, you know, predominantly when I'm playing, I'm always on the bridge pickup. Unless I'm doing something clean, I'll go to the neck, but I like to keep things pretty simple when I'm playing live. So I use the Jazz 3 picks. Obviously, I only use them once I found out Eric Johnson used them. But once I heard him actually talk about the reasons that he used the pick, you know, I was convinced. And basically, you know, I mean, look, the only problem that I ever have with these picks sometimes when I'm playing live and I'm moving around a lot, like running around the stage and all that, sometimes they do, you know, I do drop them a little bit. But generally speaking, not. But as a general rule, the way that I hold the pick is that you curl your index finger up and you place the pick over this section of your finger here. Yeah. So basically the pick's going to be like, should be sitting like that. So it's like an extension of this part that's bent down like that, and simply put your thumb over the top. And then from there I kind of release my first finger a little bit like this, and I have it sitting down there like that. Yeah. So there's not a lot of pick out there, and there's no, you know, now when I pick up a normal size pick, I just can't even play. You know, it's I'm so used to these. But the other good thing about these two is that they're really, really hard. You know, there's no flexibility in there at all. You know, so you get a nice, solid, direct contact with the string, which is great. You know, and the only thing about it depends what kind of guitar player you are, you know. I mean, if you predominantly play chords and stuff like that, then heavy picks aren't what you need, you know. Lighter picks sound nice because they fold over the strings and stuff. But, yeah, that's the reason that I use these picks. I use Australian custom-made amps called Ulbrich amplifiers. They're all Class A, handmade. And I have two of the 80-watt heads and 2 quad boxes, which I use live all the time. As far as pedals go, like I said, I keep things pretty simple when I'm playing live. I have one boost pedal, which I leave on all the time, even when I'm playing clean. And I also have a 12-axe pedal, which is made by Ulbrich as well, which is it's kind of like a souped-up tube screamer. And I have an old MXR phase pedal and an RMC wah, and that's it.